been up to today?
I'm stay on the beach. I'm staying on the beach, but the weather is not so good.
Oh no. Is it raining?
No, exactly, but it's overcast.
Okay.
It's very cloudy.
Overcast. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
but well, maybe the summer is finished.
Yeah, ending. All right. And Julieta, how's it going with you?
Mm. Hi, teacher. Hi,
Hey,
guys.
how's it going, Julieta?
It's going well, thanks.
Okay. What have you been up
Was
to
it
this
okay?
weekend?
My mom asked me out, so we went out.
Nice. That's solid. That sounds great. Um, and
Mm.
what'd you do? What'd you do?
We went to the theater recently.
Nice. What play?
Uh, it is written by a friend of my mom, and it was very funny. It was kind of a comedy, and it was about a trial.
Okay. A comedy about a trial. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, that sounds sweet. I love going to the theater. Um, yeah, sounds
Well,
great,
she
especially if it's a
invited me
friend.
to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so Anna Carolina, that's kind of like, I mean, your mom can kind of ask you out on a date. It doesn't have to be like a romantic date. Generally it is, but it doesn't have to be. So mom asked me out. Um, yeah, so it works. And so it's just the three of us for now. Uh, and so I'm gonna try to read a Donald Barthelme story. It's called So I Bought a Little City. So I bought a little city. And so Donald Barthelme is the writer who wrote The School. Do you guys remember The School?
Yes.
Yeah. So same
That's
writer.
when everyone had died.
Yeah, that same one. So it's kind of the same style. It's a little bit absurd. Hopefully you think it's funny. Maybe let's start with Adela. Can you read the title and that first paragraph?
Yes, one moment, a little. So I bought a little city. So I bought a little city. It was Galveston, Texas, and told everybody that nobody had to move. We were going to do it just
Sorry.
gradually, very relaxed, no big change overnight. Okay, they were pleased and suspicious. I walked down to the harbor where there were cotton warehouse and fish market and all sort of installation having to do with the spread of petroleum throughout the free world, and I thought a few apple tree here might be nice. Then I walk out this broad boulevard which has all these tall thick palm tree, maybe 40 feet height in the center and oleanders on both sides. It runs for blocks and blocks and ends up opening up to the broad Gulf of Mexico. Stately homes on both sides and a big Catholic church that looks more like a mosque, and the Bishop Palace and the handsome red brick affair where the Shriner meet. I thought what a nice little city. It suits me fine. Sorry
Uh-huh.
because I have a screen a little screen.
Oh, okay.
Laptop is very difficult. Sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry at all. Let me know earlier. I can
I
try to
I
make
try
it bigger.
to uh, I try to increase the size for the after
Okay. Can you repeat gradually?
gradually,
Relaxed?
relaxed,
No big changes.
not be changes.
Uh-huh. And suspicious?
Suspicious warehouses,
Warehouses.
warehouse, warehouses throughout,
Warehouses. Throughout.
throughout,
And a thought?
thought,
Mm-hmm.
and Catholic,
Catholic? Catholic.
Catholic,
There's no O sound. Just say Catholic.
Catholic,
Catholic, yeah.
Catholic,
It suits me.
suits,
Okay. Oleanders are a type of flower.
yes, I think, no?
Yeah. So oleanders, type of flower. Shriners, I think, is kind of like a organization, but I'm not really sure. Um, yeah, so Shriners is kind of like an organization, like a group of people. Um, any other questions here?
Oleanders maybe has a flower, a big flower, rose or white.
Oleanders, yeah, like pinkish, whitish. Yeah, I think.
Okay, red too. Okay.
Um,
Maybe.
go
Yes.
ahead.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And so
Julieta has right. Sorry.
red too. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Kako, welcome to class. Kako, how's it going?
Hi, teacher. Nice to see you. I'm
Nice
very
to see you
well,
too.
thank you.
Okay,
And
good.
you?
Doing really well. Thank you for asking. And Carolina, welcome to class as well. How is it going?
Thank you, teacher. I am good. And you?
Doing really well. Thanks for asking. Um, and Asma, welcome to class as well. Asma, how are you?
Yeah, hello, teacher. I'm good, thank you.
Okay, nice. And Anna Carolina, what's happening so far? Just to keep everybody up to date, kind of.
Okay, someone bought a city in Galveston, Texas, and well, the person told everyone there that they didn't have to move, but the person was expecting that people could do it bit by bit.
Yeah. So the changes would come gradually. Good. Can you read the next paragraph, Anna
Okay,
Carolina?
yes, it suits me fine, so I started to change it, but softly, softly. I asked some folks to move out of a whole city block on I Street, and then I tore down their houses. I put the people into the Galvez Hotel, which is the nicest hotel in town, right on the seawall, and I made sure that every room had a beautiful view. Those people had wanted to stay at the Galvez Hotel all their lives and never had a chance before because they didn't have the money. They were delighted. I tore down their houses and made that empty block a park. We planted it, sorry, we planted all to heck and put some nice green iron benches in it and a little fountain. All standard stuff. We didn't try to be ima- what is the stress?
Imaginative.
Okay, we didn't try to be imaginative.
imaginative. Good. Really nice reading. That sounded great. And so, yeah, he's, slowly changing the city, one thinks. Anybody have any questions?
What does story mean?
What does Tor mean?
Tore down.
It's just like to ruin. Tear is you like rip. So he ripped down their houses. He tore down their houses. He just destroyed their houses.
Ah, okay, like breakdown.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Asma, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay, teacher. Until where, teacher?
I was pleased.
Yeah, until or till.
Just forever. This paragraph.
Mhm. I was pleased. All the people who lived in the 4 blocks surrounding the empty block had something they hadn't had before, a park. They could sit in it, and like that, I went and watched them sitting in it. There was already a black man there playing bongo drums. I hate bongo drums. I started to tell him to stop playing those gosh darn bongo drums, but then I said to myself, no, that's not right. You got to let him play his stupid bongo drums if he feels like it. It's part of the misery of democracy, to which I subscribe. Then I started thinking about new housing for the people I had displaced. They couldn't stay in that fancy hotel forever.
Okay. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribed. Then I started thinking about new housing for the people I had displaced, and they couldn't say, yeah, I think that sounded really good. So, any questions here?
No, it's okay.
Not exactly. Okay,
No.
so yeah, we've got a man, he's bought a city, he has torn down some houses, made a park. There's somebody playing bongo drums in the park. He wants him to stop, but he doesn't. He doesn't make him stop. Kako, can you read the next part, maybe until the end of the page?
Okay, teacher. But I didn't have my ideas about new housing, except that it shouldn't be too imaginative. So I got to talking to one of these people, one of the ones who had moved out, guy by the name of Bill Caulfield, who worked in a wholesale tobacco place down on Mechanic Street. So, what kind of a place would you like to live in? I asked him. Well, he said, not too big. Maybe with a veranda around 3 sides, he said, so we could sit on it and look out. A screened porch, maybe. What you going to look out at? Maybe some trees and the lawn. Maybe So you want some ground around the house? Around the house. That would be nice, yeah. About how much ground are you thinking of?
Good. Let's look at Can you repeat that?
Uh-huh.
Good. Any ideas? Any
Any
ideas?
ideas?
Tobacco.
Any ideas?
Tobacco.
Tobacco? Tobacco.
Mechanic.
Mechanic.
Good. Other than that, you did a good job. And nice. Carolina, can you read? So maybe until the Mona Lisa on it. Carolina? Giulietta, what about you? Can you read until the Mona Lisa on it?
Well, not too much. You see, the problem is there is only X amount of ground and everybody's going to want to have it to look at, and at the same time they don't want to be staring at neighbors. Private looking, that's the thing. Well, yes, he said, I'd like it to be kind of private. Well, I said, get a pencil and let's see what we can work out. We started with what there was going to be to look at, which was darn difficult. Because when you look, you don't want to be able to look at just one thing. You want to be able to shift your gaze. You need to be able to look at least 3 things, maybe 4. Bill Caulfield solved the problem. He showed me a box. I opened it up, and inside was a jigsaw puzzle with a picture of the Mona Lisa on it.
Good. Okay. That sounded good. Jigsaw. Maybe jigsaw puzzle?
Jigsaw puzzle.
Good. Okay. Questions here?
Teacher, I have a question, please.
What's your question?
In pronunciation, okay, to be able to, Julieta, I think she said to sheep. Is that correct?
You
The
want to be able to shift? Shift your gaze?
Yes.
Yeah, shift.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right.
What is jigsaw, teacher?
A
Please.
jigsaw. Does anybody know what a jigsaw puzzle is? Any ideas? Okay, so a jigsaw is okay. It's a specific type of saw that allows you to cut strange shapes. So if we've got like a jigsaw puzzle, it's just a big puzzle with the pieces not, they're not perfect. They're all different. I don't know how to explain it. It's terrible. So jigsaw puzzle is just a different type of puzzle. It's a type of puzzle, yeah. The jigsaw is the tool that we use to cut the puzzle pieces, if that makes sense. You guys, here? Yeah. Wow, that is way too long. Yeah, go to Asma's link, I guess. Any other questions? Okay. And let's have Adela. Can you read the next part until pointed out? Or maybe more. Read until more.
Okay. Looky here, he said. If each piece of ground was like a piece of this here puzzle, and the 3 lines on each piece of property follow the outline of a piece of the puzzle, well, there you have it. QED, and that's all she brought. Fine, I said. Where are the folk going to park their cars? In the vast underground parking facility, he said. Okay, but how does each householder gain access to his household? The three lines are double and shade beautiful paved walkways possibly bordered with begonias, he said. A large way for potential mudists and robbers, I point out. There won't be any such, Caulfield said, because you've bought our whole city and won't allow that class of person to hang out here no more. That's what
Yeah,
right. Sorry.
no worries. And where are the folk? Where are the folk gonna park their cars?
Where the fuck?
Yeah, muggists
Maggist, maggest,
and rapers.
rapers.
Um, you bought our whole city?
Whole city?
Yeah. QED. Does anybody know what QED stands for?
Mm,
So it's Latin. Does anybody know the Latin root? Okay. So if you look in the chat box, it means quod erat demonstrandum, or something like that. So that's what it means. And it's kind of like as it was proven, or which had to, as it was proven, kind of.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And any other questions? Okay. And let's have Anna Carolina. Can you read until Jigsaw Puzzle? Oh, actually, read until the end of that paragraph.
Okay. From where?
That was right.
Okay. Um, that was right. I had bought the whole city and could probably do that. I had forgotten. Well, I said finally, let's give her a try. The only thing I don't like about it is that it seems a little imaginative. We did it, and it didn't work out badly. There was only one complaint. A man named A.G. Barty came to see me. Listen, he said, his eyes either gleaming or burning. I couldn't tell which. It was a cloudy day. I feel like I'm living in this gigantic jigsaw puzzle. He was right, seen from the air. He was living in the middle of a Titanic reproduction of the Mona Lisa, too. But I thought it's best not to mention that. We allowed him to square off his property into a standard 60 to 100-foot lot, and later some other people did not too. Some people just like rectangles, I guess. I must say, it improved the concept. You run across an occasional rectangle in Shadow Oaks. We didn't want to call the development anything too imaginative, and it surprises you. That's nice.
Good. 60 by 100.
60 by 100.
By, uh, by 100.
60 by 100.
Huh? And other people did that too.
Other people did that too.
Rectangles.
Rectangles.
Shady.
Shady.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And any other questions? Any questions here? Okay. And Asma, can you read? Whew. Yeah, can you read until the end of the next paragraph?
I said to myself, "God, little city, ain't it pretty?" By now I had exercised my proprietorship so lightly, and if I do say so myself tactfully, that I wondered if I was enjoying myself enough, and I had paid a heavy penny too, near to half my fortune. So I went out on the street then and shot 6,000 dogs. This gave me great satisfaction, and you have no idea how wonderfully it improved the city for the better. This left us with a dog population of 165 million as
Thousand.
thousand as as op- as opposed to a human population of something like 89,000. Then I went down to the Galveston News, the morning paper, and wrote an editorial denouncing myself as the vilest creature the good God had ever placed within the earth, and were we, the citizens of this fine community, who were after all free Americans or of whatever race or creed, going to sit still while one man. That's all, or I have to continue?
Keep going, yeah.
Okay. One man, if indeed so, if indeed so will a creator could be so called, etc. I gave it to the city desk and told them I wanted on the front page in 14-point type boxed. I did this just in case they might have hesitated to do it themselves, and because I'd seen that Orson Welles picture where the guy writes a nasty notes about his own wife's terrible singing, which I always thought was pretty decent of him from some points of view.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a really long paragraph. Let's look at proprietorship.
Okay, proprietorship.
Proprietorship.
Okay, proprietorship. Proprietorship.
Proprietorship. Proprietorship.
Proprietorship.
Mm-hmm. And if I do say so myself,
Okay.
if I do say so myself,
If I do say so myself,
tactfully.
tactfully.
Yeah. So tactfully is like not being rude about it, being understanding, and yeah.
Conscious, yeah.
Yeah. Again, 165,000. Galveston. Galveston.
Galveston.
And vilest.
Violence.
And citizens.
Citizens.
And vile.
Vile.
Critter. Critter. Did we lose her? All right. Yeah, so she's got critter and decent.
Decent.
Yeah. And okay. Right. So he goes and shoots a bunch of dogs, which there are tons of dogs, but a critter is a creature. Um, Generally, critters are small creatures. They're like mice or bugs would be a critter. Um, Maybe like chipmunks. Yeah, small creatures. Um, and any other questions? So yeah, he shoots a bunch of dogs, and Tina's in a car. Hi, Tina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I don't think I've ever had anybody come to class in a car before.
Yeah, I was like about to start on the YouTube, but I think it's good to have it, right? So, yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, really interesting. That's
Yeah.
that's some streaming service. And Tina, where are you from?
I'm from Boston.
No way. Okay. You're from Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. And so are you here to learn English?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Oh, so
Boston,
you, what you said?
You're from Boston, Massachusetts?
Yes. I mean, you want to know my original? I mean,
Yeah, where are you
origin?
originally from?
Origin?
Ah, yeah, I might have lost her. Um, oh wow. Okay. Right. Well, anyway, we've got the man, he shoots a bunch of dogs, then he writes a really bad article about himself in the newspaper because it's something that Orson Welles did to tell his wife that, she had bad singing or she sang poorly. Kako, can you read this next bit of dialogue? Sorry. So starting with a man.
Okay, teacher. A man whose dog I'd shot came to see me. You shot Butch, he said. Butch? Which one was Butch? One brown ear and one white ear, he said. Very, very friendly. Mister, I said, I've just shot 6,000 dogs, and you expect me to remember Butch? Butch was all Nancy and me had. Oh, Butch was all Nancy and me had, he said. We never had no children. Well, I'm sorry about that, I said, but I own this city. I know that, he said.
And yeah, read maybe the next couple lines right here.
Okay. I am the sole owner, and I make all the rules. They told me, he said. I am sorry about Butch, but he got in the way of the big campaign. You ought to have had him on a leash.
Good. I think let's stop there. Really nice job. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, I really like the line, Mister, I said, just shot 6,000 dogs. You expect me to remember Butch? I think that's hilarious and really sad. Julieta, can you read the next part?
Yes. I want to know, by the way, what leash means.
Leash? A leash is something that you use to hold a dog. Oof. Sorry, Tina, you're not coming in really. So it's like a strap to hold a dog, or yeah, your pet. So you walk a dog on a leash. All right.
I don't deny it, he said. You ought to have You ought to have had him inside the house. He was just a poor animal that had to go out sometimes, and mess up the streets something awful. Well, he said, it's a problem. I just walked to tell you how I feel. You didn't tell me, I said. How do you feel? I feel like busting your head, he said, and showed me a short length of pipe he had brought along for the purpose. But of course, if you do that, you're going to get your butt in a lot of trouble, I said. I realized that it would make you feel better, but then I own the jail and the judge and the police and the local chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union, all mine. I could hit you with a writ of mandamus.
I have no idea what mandamus means. I imagine it would be something with laws. Let's look it up. So like it's a judge thing. It's a judicial remedy in the form of an order from a superior court. Yeah.
Writ?
Yeah. So a writ. It's like a piece of paper, I guess you could say. Gosh, if you want to look it up, it's really, I mean, just law terms are really difficult to explain. There's a really good Cornell University website that talks about mandamus. A writ of mandamus is an order from a court of an inferior government official ordering the government official to properly fulfill their duties. So yeah, it's just because he has power, he could order courts to do certain things.
Is it an old type of thing?
I don't think it's old as much as it's just very legal. It's like a legal term. Okay, and so I feel like busting your head. What's that mean?
Like to be hit?
Yeah, I feel like hitting your head. I feel like destroying your head with a short length of pipe that he has. So this is really a calm conversation for somebody who's about to get his head bashed in by a short length of pipe. And yeah, I think Tina's still frozen. Videla, can you read this next part? Maybe until Louisiana.
Yes. Sorry. I start and you wouldn't? No.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
you wouldn't do that because he's saying I could hit you with a writ of mandamus.
You wouldn't do that. I've been known to do worse. You are black-haired man, he said. I guess that's it. You'll roast in hell in the eternal flames, and there will be not mercy or cooling draught for any quarter. He went away happy with this explanation. I was happy to be a black-haired man in his mind, if that would satisfy the issue between us, because that was a bad-looking piece of pipe he had there, and I was still 6,000 dogs ahead of the game in a sense. So I owned this little city, which was very, very pretty, and I couldn't think of any more new innovation, just them or none, that wouldn't get me punctuated like the late Hugh P. Long, former governor of Louisiana.
Okay. Any more innovations?
Innovations?
And punctuated.
Punctuated.
Yeah, and we assume this means killed. If like a punctuation mark ends something, and so it's just kind of a funny way of saying get you killed. So he couldn't think of any no innovations, or at least no innovations that wouldn't get him killed, like the late Huey. Huey P. Long. Can you repeat that? Huey.
Huey. Huey
Yeah.
P. Long.
Uh-huh. And good. Any questions? Okay. Anna Carolina, can you read the Until Unfriendliness?
Um, the thing is, I had fallen in love with some Hong's wife. I had wandered into this store on Tremont Street where they sold Oriental novelties, paper lanterns, and cheap china and bamboo bird cages, and wicker footstools, and all that kind of thing. She was smaller than I was, and I thought I had never seen that much goodness in a woman's face before. It's hard to credit. It was the best face I'd ever seen. I I can't do that, she said, because I am married to Sam. Sam? She pointed over to the cash register where there was a Chinese man, young and intelligent looking, and pouring that intelligent look at me with considered unfriendliness.
Good. Chinese?
Chinese,
Yeah, Chinese. Bird cages.
bird cages,
And cheap. Cheap China.
cheap China.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so what's happening? Can you explain quickly, Ana Carolina?
Mm. Uh, he he had a crush on Sam's wife.
Uh-huh. He developed a crush on Sam Hong's wife. Um, so, yeah. He goes into their store, and she is very pretty.
Hmm.
He
And
probably... What do you think he asks her? Like, so this is her response, and his question is, like, in the blank. What do you think he says to her?
could you kiss me?
Yeah, something like that. Could you kiss me? Let's get married. Something along those lines. I can't do that because I'm married to Sam. Sam? And then, yeah, so Sam's there. So he's just doing all sorts of terrible things. And Asma, can you read the next part?
Okay. Well, that is my news, I said. Tell me, do you love me? A little bit, she said, but Sam is wise and kind, and we have 1 1/3 lovely children. She didn't look pregnant, but I congratulated her anyhow, and then went out on the street and found a cove and sent him down to H Street to get me a packet of Colonel Sanders Kentucky
Huh?
fried chicken, extra crispy. I did that just out of meanness. He was humiliated, but he had no choice, I thought. I own a little city, awful pretty, can't help people, can't hurt them though, shoot their dogs, mess 'em up, be imaginative, plant trees, best to leave 'em alone. Who decides? Sam's wife is Sam's wife and uh, coveting. It is not nice.
Good. Let's look at coveting.
Coveting, yeah.
Okay. Colonel Sanders. Weird word. Sounds like colonel, not however
Colonel.
it looks. Colonel, yeah. It's a goofy one.
This one, colon is kernel?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, I don't know what to say. It sounds like Colonel. Um, yeah. Sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah. Meanness?
meanness,
Humiliated.
humiliated. Humiliated.
Humiliated.
Humiliated.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And I own a little city, awful pretty. Can't help people. Can hurt them though. Shoot at their, shoot their dogs, mess them up. Um, anyways, so any questions here?
Teacher, the EM, this one, what refer to what? Mess him up. And
Mess them up. Them.
okay.
Mess them up. Yeah, so he's pretty much doing all these terrible things to the city that he now owns. He falls in love with Sam's wife, but she's pregnant, um, and she has a child with Sam. And then he gets a cop, so a police officer, and makes him get him chicken because he owns the city. Coveting is like desiring. Desiring would be coveting. And good. I think we're good. And where were we? I think Kako. Can you read the next paragraph?
So I ate the Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken extra crispy and sold Galveston, Texas back to the interests. I took a bath on that deal. There is no denying it, but I learned something. Don't play God. A lot of other people already knew that, but I have never doubted for a minute that a lot of other people are smarter than me and figures things out quicker and have grace and statistical norms on their side. Probably I went wrong by being too imaginative, although really I was guarding against that. I did very little. I was fairly restrained. God does a lot worse things every day in one little family, any family, than I did in that whole little city. But he's got a better imagination than I do. For instance, I still covet Sam Hong's wife. That's torment. I still covet Sam Hong's wife, and probably always will. It's like having a tooth pulled for a year. The same tooth. That's a sample of his imagination. It's powerful.
Good. He's got a better imagination than I do.
He's got a better imagination.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Really good reading. Kentucky. Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Kentucky Fried.
Kentucky Fried.
Mm-hmm. And Julieta, can you read the last little paragraph?
So, what happened? What happened was that I took the other half of my fortune and went to Galena Park, Texas, and lived inconspicuously there. And when they asked me to run for the school board, I said no. I don't have any children.
Good. Okay. Questions. Inconspicuously, maybe. Can you repeat inconspicuously?
In, inconspicuously.
Hmm. Good. And so he's living under the radar in Galena Park, Texas, in a different town. Right. So, yeah. What happened here, Julieta? What happened in this story?
He bought this little city, and he acted as a tyrant there. So
Uh-huh.
he did everything he wanted, but at the end, he got bored maybe, and so he sold it, and nothing. He said that he has not enough imagination to play God.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't have enough imagination to play God. Yeah.
But actually, he thinks that the imagination is just for words and things. I don't know why.
He thinks that imagination is just for what?
For worse things. For
Yeah. He's got a negative view of imagination.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be imaginative. Mm-hmm. Inconspicuously, Anna Carolina is kind of hiddenly under the radar, not ostentatious, so not very showy. Um, so you live without people noticing you too much. Does that make sense? Okay. Hopefully that works, Anna Carolina. He bought this little city and he acted as a tyrant for sure. Okay, and Adela, what kind of like tyrant things did he do? What did he do in the city that he owned?
I think it's not so clear for me, but I think they have a drastic change in on the city. Or first was a nice city or both, but after that he changed a lot. It's not so good, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a little strange to the all the context.
Okay. Yeah. So he's like, is he doing anything bad? Maybe on purpose? Like, is he doing anything bad, Ana
Um,
Carolina? Ana Carolina?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay. So what bad things does he do?
Mm. Oh my gosh, it's difficult. Um, Teacher, sorry.
Okay. Don't be sorry at all. So we've got these things that he does. What does he do? Does anybody know who can tell us the things that he does?
Kicked
He
out
tore.
people from their house.
Out of their houses and build a park?
Build a park.
Yeah.
An
Houses,
unfenced park.
yeah. Houses them in a hotel. It's nice, kind of. Yeah, what else does he do?
He tore their houses. He he shot 6,000 dogs around
Yeah,
the city.
yeah. Shot 6,000 dogs. They still have a lot of dogs. There still are a lot of dogs.
And he coveted Sam's wife.
Yeah, coveted another man's wife. He made the cop get him fried chicken.
He
He,
threatened dog owner.
yeah, he threatened the dog owner.
Mhm.
Threatened the dog owner. Okay. Yeah. So apart from coveting another man's wife, which might be the thing that changes him. So this coveting of another man's wife, maybe that's what convinces him to sell the town. Everything else, well, maybe the cop and the fried chicken, but he said he did that out of anger, so that's out too. Was he trying to do good things, or was he trying to do bad things? Basically. It's like,
Only
is he trying
bad.
to, huh?
Only bad things.
Yeah, so in the end, how they worked out, sorry, was bad. Sorry. But thank you. He's trying to kind of fix the town in some ways. He's like trying to make it better in his own imagination. He's like, he wants to make a park, and so he just does it. And he does these things without thinking about other people. He thinks there are too many dogs in the town, and so his solution to having too many dogs and the fact that they're messing up the street is to kill the dogs and take the blame for it. He's being an upright person by taking the blame for it. He even writes an editorial against himself. And so he also rearranges the neighborhood to make it look like a jigsaw, so everybody has a nice piece of land and their own private property. He's trying to make it okay, and it just it doesn't work at all, at all. And so in the end, he decides that he won't, in fact, even run for the school board because he's like, I don't even want to get involved, because his attempts to fix things just didn't work. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Hopefully it makes sense. We are just about out of time. Thank you guys for coming in, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hopefully you like
Thank
the story.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye. Take care.